I'd like to show you some of the pictures from the time that we spent in the UK with Larry Norman, and also some of the straight Alwyn Wall Band gigs. This is Pam and Larry on the bus. This is Larry with a pair of tights over his head, pretending to be a bank robber, which he really got a kick out of it. Steve Turner is sat right next to him. This is Steve Turner and Larry, who saw some stocks on the side of the road, you know, these old English devices they used to put criminals in. And he thought this would be a great photo opportunity, so we stopped, and Don there in the white was Larry's full-time photographer. We would get out, and if they thought there was a great photo shoot in it, they would just snap away. This is Don asleep on the bus. Spent a lot of time on that bus. This is Alwyn. Sat next to Tony, I think. Maybe that's Norman. Norman Miller. I can't quite make that out. Pam, who could really feel the cold, damp English weather. She was wrapped up all the time on the bus. That was Larry's wife. And this is Wes Yoder there with the beard. Wes became our manager when we went to the US. He came over to the UK to see us on tour. This gig, I really can't remember where it was, but somebody took a number of black and white shots. I do remember it was somewhere down in the London area. There's Tony playing bass. And we managed to get our hands on some of those shots. I tried wherever we went to see if it was possible to get pictures. Nobody else was really interested in doing that, but now I'm glad I have them. This was a pretty typical lineup for the Alwyn Wall Band, and we did a lot of gigs like this. You can see me on the keyboard back there. Somebody knows where this is, post a comment and let me know. And whoever took this, it'd be nice to find that out too. But somehow I managed to collect quite a few of these photographs as we were out on the road. If I saw people taking pictures, I would give them my address, and some people would send them to me. These are kind of nice shots. You got shots of Norman into the lights like this. So we actually used a couple of these as promos for the band. It's a great shot of me actually playing keyboard, my trusted Fender Rhodes, which I carried halfway around the world. These are just some shots, incidental shots of the guys really just being out and about around the UK. This is Tony, and I believe this is in Tony's apartment. He had an apartment in Muswell Hill, and we would hang out there quite a bit. There was a lot of hanging out to be done, because if we were recording or getting ready for a gig, then we'd be together practicing and just waiting for things to happen. We did do a photo shoot at the Mayflower, and some of these shots in here are from that photo shoot that I took up while we were setting up. This is the front of Tony's apartment in North London, and we hung out there quite a bit. That is Tony right there. I'm not sure where we were going, just maybe doing a bit of shopping, but I would always have my camera with me, so I got some good shots. Alwyn crashed out at Tony's place, reading the paper. You know, a lot of the time when we were waiting for things to happen, we were literally just waiting. So there was a lot of downtime too. Here's another one of the shots from the photo shoots. As they were setting up, I would take my own pictures, and as you can tell, I'm not a good photographer. This is at the front of the Mayflower. We used this building to practice just before we recorded the album. This shot in the park got quite a bit of use on promos and ads, and I thought it was a good shot, but when I look at it now, I don't look too good on the end there. This shot got used on the inside of the album, and actually is a nice shot. This park was set up with all these deck chairs, and it was perfect for us. I got quite a few shots of Nick. He also had an apartment, Nick and Sue, his wife, and I think they just had one baby and one on the way at that point. And I can't remember exactly where his apartment was, but we would hang out there sometime. I did see Nick recently. He now lives in Montreal. And last year I was in Montreal and I found him, and it was great just catching up and reliving some of the old stories. This is Nick's baby, and unfortunately I cannot remember the name. This is Nick's wife, Sue. This is hanging out in their apartment in the kitchen. And it looks like somebody's getting ready to eat. Now, I do have a couple of pictures here. This one is Norman Miller, who was our manager and actually came with us to the States for quite a while. And Ian Hamilton was the head of Word UK. He's the one on the right. I do remember this. We were going to buy some strings. That shop there with the red front was a music shop, and these guys went through a lot of strings. So that's another one from the photo shoot at the Mayflower. And again, there's one here of Norm. I haven't seen Norm for many years, so it would be great to get in touch with him. I did recently talk with Alwyn and had a couple of emails from him too. This is setting up in the park with some of those shots that we took on the day out. This is me somewhere in the back of the car. Can't remember where we were going or why. Now, these shots were great. This is a series from the Free Trade Hall in Manchester. This was a great gig for me. Manchester is my hometown. Free Trade Hall was a great, well-known venue. We had 2,000 people there that night. Alwyn Wall Band did a set, and then Larry came on, and we did a set together. They had a great setup, good lights, good PA, a good crowd. I remember it was somebody's birthday, and we had a cake on stage at one point. My whole family showed up because it was a local. And I remember it was a good gig. Enjoyed it very much. My friend John Howarth took these pictures. And a few years later, he told me he had them, and I managed to get a set from him. I'm not sure where this gig was. This was somewhere else in the UK, and this was a regular Alwyn Wall Band gig. Again, these are all from different gigs around the UK. We were very, very busy at one point. This is Larry's traditional shots. He would use a single white beam on him, and it was always very effective.